It has been nearly 2 months since the deadly police shooting of an Albuquerque teenager.
And now Albuquerque police are releasing what Taser is saying after examining Officer Jeremy Deere's lapel camera to find out why there is no video of this shooting. Again, there is no video from Officer Deere. In the more than 2 hours, he helped search for Mary Hawks, a suspected truck thief, then shot and killed her. After inspecting Officer Deere's camera, the manufacturer, Taser, says the camera's logs didn't show any signs that Deere ever hit the record button in that time. In 2 hours, the camera powered down minutes before Deere shot the teen and then was powered back up minutes after. Taser says there are only 2 ways to explain how that could have happened. Either the power switch on the camera's controller was switched off or a cable somehow became disconnected. But Taser tested the cable by pulling it and twisting it, and it only came out and powered off the camera when the jack came all the way out. Even then, Taser says there's usually a clip to keep the jack from coming out, but that clip on Officer Deere's camera was missing.
Well, the son of a former prominent attorney has been arrested 11 times for drunk driving in New Mexico, but only convicted once. William Marchiondo's dad, Bill Marchiondo, contributed money to the campaigns of both District Attorneys Carrie Brandenburg in Bernalillo County and Lemuel Martinez in Sandoval and Valencia County. Brandenburg, who's known the elder Marchiondo for years, passed his son's 2 most recent DWI cases over to Martinez, who ended up dropping the cases in both charges in both cases, I should say. News 13 has learned that the elder Marchiondo contributed a total of $1,500 to the Martinez campaign when he ran.
I don't know the son. I've never met the son. I've never had contact with him, spoken, seen him to him. It's not improper. The cases were fatally flawed from the beginning.
In one case, he says an expert determined the DWI suspect may have blown over the legal limit because of medication he was taking at the time. In another case, the breathalyzer certification had expired. Lemuel Martinez has passed on cases before. In 2008, he sent attorney Cody Kelly's DWI case to a private attorney because Kelly had donated to his campaign. Martinez says this case is different because it was Marchiondo's dad, not Marchiondo, who made the contributions.
503, a Metro Detention Center inmate is back where he is supposed to be this morning after being accidentally released. Early yesterday, jail staff goofed when they let out Taylor Roberts. Soon after, they realized there was a restraining order on him for domestic violence. His freedom didn't last long. Investigators caught up with Roberts at the University Lodge in Nob Hill. Well, park rangers have identified the woman from New Mexico found dead in a lake in Arizona. Pamela Hammett, who is from Gallup, probably drowned in Lake Powell. She went missing in the water over the weekend, and search crews found her body on Monday. Well, we knew it was bad. We just didn't know how bad off we are in the Albuquerque area. It turns out no other big city in America is having a harder time getting over the recession than Duke City. The Brookings Institution, a prestigious national research firm, says Albuquerque may be the only big city that is in, quote, a double-dip recession. The report points to the Albuquerque area losing more jobs than it has gained in the past year. On top of that, the jobs are moving in are not nearly as good as the jobs we're losing. Liz?
Now to some international news. We are all over what is happening in Iraq this morning. Secretary of State John Kerry is warning nations worldwide do not intervene in Iraq's civil war. The U.S. believes Syria is behind air attacks this week on the Islamic State of Iraq and other targets near the Syrian border. And officials say Iran is supplying Iraq with weapons and secretly directing drone missions there.
We've made it clear to everyone in the region that we don't need anything to take place that might exacerbate the sectarian divisions that are already at a heightened level of tension.
With Sunni insurgents now occupying a third of the country, Iraq's prime minister has asked the U.S. to launch airstrikes, something the U.S. remains reluctant to do. The U.S. is sending, however, military advisors to work with Iraqi soldiers to gather intelligence. They're already in the process of doing that, as a matter of fact.
An Albuquerque police officer who was honored for talking a suicidal man out of killing himself is being credited for saving the day once again. This time, Officer Matthew Reeder stopped the guy accused of stealing a woman's purse. APD says Andreas Jimenez grabbed a woman's purse from her neck at the Walmart near Eubank and I-40 around midnight this week. Officer Reeder, who was at the store on another case, saw Jimenez running through the parking lot and quickly ran and caught up with him. Jimenez is still in jail this morning. The woman was not hurt. Well, a nun who has had run-ins with outlaws, calmed some massive mobs, and helped set up hospitals and schools in the New Mexico territory has been nominated for sainthood.
Yeah, this is a big deal in the Roman Catholic Church and for New Mexico's faithful. Yesterday, Archbishop Michael Sheehan said the Vatican's giving him the green light to open the sainthood cause for Sister Blandina Sigali.
The work that she started for the poor, the sick, children, the tough outlaws even, she was able to show her love and care for all the different people.
Well, this is the first time in New Mexico's 400-year history with the Roman Catholic Church that they have nominated someone for sainthood, according to the diocese. And here's a kid who's certainly on the path, if not for sainthood, at least humanitarian. Instead of presents, a 3-year-old Rio Rancho boy has asked his friends to bring dog food to his birthday party. Dalton Laura got the idea from a show about hero dogs. You see, he wanted to be a hero himself and help homeless dogs. So they managed to gather up about 15 bags of food. And this is the cutest part. When questioned about how the dogs at the shelter reacted, here's what the no-nonsense toddler told our reporter.
What did you tell him when you got there and you had all this dog food?
They didn't talk.
Isn't that cute? He didn't talk. Of course. Dalton's family delivered the donated food to the Santa Fe Animal Shelter recently.
Oh.
What a cutie pie.
That
Good for
is
him, little Dalton.
incredible.
Isn't that cute?
You know, with budgets getting cut and people donating less just because the economy is bad. We had a story just about that a minute ago, talking about the double-dip recession here. The animal shelters, they're just hurting for food for all the animals.
And here's this 3-year-old.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want presents. Bring me dog food so I can give the dog food away.
That's adorable.
Cutie pie.
Good for him and good for his parents for teaching him that kind of stuff.